Hello Scorpio, welcome to my channel. I'm Rebecca Gabriel from Sage Awakenings. It's lovely to have you here, Scorpio. I'm going to be doing your reading for the month of February, and granted I know we are partway into February, but let's just see what the vibe is for you, what's happening over the next few weeks, and how your spirit guides and angels can assist you along the way. So I'm going to begin by pulling a few cards from the Energy Oracle deck for you. Thank you, Spirit Guides and Angels. What do we have for Scorpio? Well, it's an interesting pathway forward. I feel that your Spirit Guides and Angels are really asking you, more than anything, to trust your higher guidance. Trust the guidance from Spirit. And to do this, of course, Scorpio, we have to step away from those usual urges that we have as human beings that can mean that we can step into our fear or our ego, or we can get distracted. Well, with the seventh chakra, Archangel Uriel, you're really being called to trust on the divine to guide you through this month of February and over the next, several weeks anyway. It would seem that, of course, your intention is to have an improvement in your life, which is wonderful. And in order for you to bring back a sense of peace and progress and happiness in your life, sometimes we do actually need to focus our lens more on the spiritual side of things, to align ourselves with an energy that feels more in harmony with who we are. And certainly it helps us to filter out the noise and to recalibrate when life maybe has been a little bit static. It would seem that on that pathway to the door to happiness, which we had as the fourth card here, which is really where you're wanting to go, there's a few things to navigate, let's just say. So we've got you looking at all various options. Where can I make an improvement? What do I need to do? So I kind of get this sense that you're seeking, you're looking, you're searching for answers, solutions, the best pathway forward. And it's at times that's perfectly fine, because perhaps the regular pathway or route that you've been taking, the patterns, the way things have always been, perhaps that's no longer suiting you, and you're realizing you need to shift and maybe go the scenic route rather than the way you've normally been approaching things. So I kind of get that's what's driving you to look elsewhere, to find alternative ways for that sense of meaning and purpose. So this is where your energy and focus is. With the next card here, what we're wanting to do is ensure that we protect ourselves from getting into that habit of wishing and wanting, because that never really puts us in an empowered position. What it does is it reinforces what we don't have. It reinforces that thought in our mind. And so our subconscious can only hear that you don't have something. So it sort of produces this cycle of perpetual cycle of always feeling like you don't have what you want, or you're not getting your needs met. And that's why I mentioned the ego before. We can, accidentally trip ourselves up by getting into that wishing and wanting mindset, when really what Spirit wants you to do is to rise above that and to trust that your higher self knows what feels right for you. And that may be for you, Scorpio, to get off that beaten path, whether that's your beaten path or the path of everybody else, to find your pathway, your own individual pathway to fulfillment and to healing and happiness. Okay, I'm going to pull a few cards from the Fairy Tarot deck, and let's just see what else Spirit has to share with us to guide you over the next month or so. Thank you, Spirit Guides and Angels. What is going on for Scorpio at this time? So I feel that in that attempt to rise above the noise and to your higher self redirecting you away from distractions, we've got the Five of Winter here, which again is saying something very similar, where you're making the decision to walk away from dishonest associations, things that feel toxic or draining in your life, realizing that the things that you used to focus on, what used to be important to you, is no longer. And it may be, Scorpio, that the dream or the goal that you had that you thought was going to bring you a sense of happiness or fulfillment hasn't quite worked out the way you thought it would. So the Five of Winter, also known as the Five of Swords, is you using your discernment to reconsider that, to reassess what you were thinking previously, and realizing it's really not quite working out the way you thought and perhaps not worth the effort. The next card from the Fairy Tarot deck is the Ten of Autumn. So this card is similar to the Ten of Pentacles, which is a great sign. This is all about the focus of your financial security. It's also about planning for the future, making wise investments, and looking at the traditions of things, how you like to do things. So it's about that warmth of feeling secure in what you're creating for your life. And this is really what you want to have more of. So it sits under this adjacent opportunities or possibilities. This is you finding different pathways to still achieve that sense of a strong foundation for yourself. And look, this reading is about you, Scorpio, and it's what you deem to be what you want to create for your life, and what you feel brings you the most happiness. The next card is the Seven of Summer. And this is really speaking to you, recognizing it's time to actually start more action, less procrastinating. So this is about making some decisions, reviewing your choices, and making sure that you actually move forward, because the more you deliberate, Scorpio, the more you get into that analysis paralysis. So when we start to make those decisions, the load starts to feel lighter and you start to be able to see the road ahead. And that's where the magic is. That's when you realize you are the magician. You are creating the magic in your life. You have choice, and that's what 7 is all about, is that choice. Now finally, and I love it that it sits under this card here of the Door to Happiness, we have the Ace of Summer. And this is like the Ace of Cups. It's such a beautiful light energy of new beginnings, opening up your heart to new possibilities, to love, to emotional fulfillment. And it's feeling like you're having a rebirth. So fresh energy, a fresh start. And it's also you feeling much more alert and much more focused on meaning in your life. So I love that at the beginning of the reading we started with that influence of your being connected to spirit and the divine, and then we finish with sort of increased intuitive abilities, psychic awareness, a focus on what's meaningful in your life, feeling like you want to be led by your purpose, and this is what brings you that sense of happiness and fulfillment. Okay, let's take a look at some potential challenges that are in your energy at the moment, some opportunities that can come from those challenges, and the way forward for Scorpio. Thank you, Spirit Guides and Angels, for Scorpio. Potential challenge, opportunity, and way forward. Well, the challenge is, and it's not really a challenge, the Two of Pentacles means it's decision time. We've got to weigh up and look at your choices and review, keeping in mind that this is your choice and the choices are meant to be ones that bring you happiness. So it feels like these two choices are good anyway, and you're just working out which direction, what you want to keep in your life, what you feel is a lesser priority. And, for some of you, sometimes it may mean that you want a different environment. We've got sort of a little bit of an emphasis on travel for some of you, not for all of you. But it really is weighing things up to see where you'd like to put your energy and what's actually going to give you the better return in your life, Scorpio. So the opportunity is, get on board quickly, because the Wheel of Fortune doesn't hang around. So do you see that the opportunity is now? It did come in reverse, so maybe you're having some difficulty seeing that now is the time to make decisions rather than to sit and wait, pondering about things. So whilst making choices can feel a little challenging sometimes, it's best just to make some decisions, trust your judgment, and keep moving so that you don't miss opportunities. Now, the Three of Swords has come up, and it was in reverse. So what I'm going to say is that you're healing from past wounds, things that have held you back. So I'm glad about that for you, Scorpio. Finally, you're getting that sense of lightness and things coming together for you, coming from a heart place. So the heart is healing, which is beautiful, and life is becoming easier, lighter, more in flow, and you're definitely tapping into your wisdom more often these days, Scorpio. Good to know. Let's pull some cards from the Guardian Angel Tarot deck for Scorpio, please. I love that. Yes, we've got more confirmation for you. So the first one that came out is the card of a new beginning. So Scorpio, you're at the beginning of a wonderful journey. There's no need to have any fear, because your guardian angels are walking with you every step of the way. So this is recognizing what your particular gifts and talents are that you have to offer the world. See that, because that's going to help you with your decision making on what you're going to do, what you're going to prioritize over other things. And the next card, the Seven of Action, is very similar to the Seven of Summer that we had just a moment ago. This is about you stepping up and claiming your personal power. It's all there for you to make choices, your decisions, according to what's going to bring you fulfillment and happiness. So this is a moment about feeling confident, my dear friends, and knowing that the angels are going to give you the strength to say no when it's needed, when it's the right thing to do for yourself. So we don't want to have struggles anymore. We want to let go of that inner conflict, get back into flow, get back into believing in who you are, why you're here, and what you're doing. Reconnect with yourself and stay away from any energies that feel are against the grain of who you are and what you're trying to achieve or what you're wanting to achieve. And lastly, the Six of Emotion here is similar to the Six of Cups. Yes, we can have memories of things that are important to us, things that have happened in the past, but what's important is to remember that our emotions do play a part in how we remember things, and that can be in the positive or the negative. So we want to make sure we don't linger too much on recalling the past, but rather appreciate the good things that will help give us that sense of inspiration for moving forward. With the Six of Emotion, it could also be a focus on children, what's important, and the desire to reconnect. And indeed, for some of you, some people may return to your life to reconnect, which is beautiful. But it's also asking you to reconnect with your own inner child. Remember what life was like when you were young. And I feel that that's going to help with understanding connections with children, in current day connections with children. It will certainly be assisted when you're able to recall your own experiences and rather than dwelling on past events, just imagine what it was like for you and the feelings that you experienced in your past. Interesting reflection. Okay, let's see, Scorpio. We'll pull some cards from the Wisdom of Oracle deck, and then I'll pull some from the Power Tarot. So this month, there's a beautiful feeling of wanting to hang with the tribe. Now, the tribe could be family, but it could also be those people that you resonate with. So that's lovely. When we hang out with people who are like-minded, there is this beautiful sense of togetherness, and that someone's got our back or we have theirs. It's the place where we can feel comfortable to be ourselves and call home, even if it's just in moments. But it's where we get nourished. It's where we feel nurtured. It's where we learn what we need to learn from the comfort of what is familiar. So that's something to look out for. Who is your tribe? Who do you want to connect with more? What is that beautiful supportive space that's going to really assist any emotional healing during this month? I feel it's in this space too where you can rebalance that sort of energy of giving and receiving. We've got the exchanging gifts here. So if we're looking at stepping into our power, we're looking at making decisions on where we're going to place our energy and what we're going to pull back from. Perhaps for some of you, you might be able to look at how you can collaborate with others. So, you might want to consider what you've got to offer, and someone else can give you something in exchange. And that may be a smart way. One of your strategies for managing your finances in this month is that collaboration. How can you share your gifts with someone else in exchange for what they have to offer and what they do so well? So this is you exercising your imagination for alternative solutions, alternative pathways, remember. So this is you stepping into your imagination. Okay, so if the same old didn't give you the results that you wanted or the outcome that you wanted, this is where you get a little bit savvy. You get up off that seat, you look at alternative ways of doing things, connecting with other people, working out what's important for you, where to place your energy, and how you might be able to work with others to get what it is that you need for that sense of progress and movement forward. Coming back to the Six of Emotion card, where we walk down memory lane a little bit, and we're thinking about connections to our childhood or our inner child. It's interesting, the Here and Now card has popped up. And I feel like Spirit is urging you to stay present and focused in your life. Don't spend too much time dwelling on thoughts of the past, because that will only delay your progress. That sort of over-analysing of things, procrastinating, that's not going to be a good strategy for you this month, because remember, the Wheel of Fortune, the opportunity is now. If we delay too long, then doors can sometimes close. And ultimately, you're aiming for healing. You're aiming for greater peace and personal happiness. So what is it that brings you that sense of peace, fulfillment, and happiness. Make that your goal. Make that your focus and the outcome that you're striving for. And then make decisions that are going to support you in achieving that as you move forward. Lots of moving parts here. Okay, now I did promise to pull a few cards from the Power Tarot deck for you, Scorpio. Okay, what do we have for Scorpio, please? Yes, I love it. This is just a confirmation of what we've just been talking about. So now I know this is the crux of your message for February. Follow your passion. Doing what you love, that's the pathway to your personal happiness and fulfillment, is to follow your passion. I know that you're ready to take on the challenges. You've realized what doesn't work, and you now got this beautiful renewed sense of hope and focus for yourself. So follow that. Feel excited about the adventure. Create that sense of inspiration, adventure for going to claim what it is that you want to do and focus on moving forward. Another confirmation, 5 of Michael. Okay, this is just moving on, very similar to the 5 of Winter in the other deck. This is the Power Tarot, and this is the Fairy deck here. So this is just the recognition that what has been, where your thoughts have been, where your focus has been, doesn't serve you anymore. So this is about letting that go, and also letting go the need to understand things where things haven't worked out with other people or situations. Don't waste any more energy over it. Move forward, Scorpio. So this is now about releasing, letting go, and taking a much more uplifted approach to your progress, to life going forward. And finally, another confirmation with the Wheel card. Here we go again, the Wheel card. Okay, things are in motion for new beginnings for you. So this means the end of delays, the end of a past chapter that you're very happy to leave behind. And now this is about taking a direction towards you, your happiness, what brings you life. So get on board. Let's not wait. Let's grab the opportunity and start seeing that momentum and progress for yourself. And that comes when you redirect your energies and your focus to what you know that you can create, what you know is your love and passion. Put aside the wishing and the wanting, because that comes from a place of, I didn't have my expectations met. And we don't want that energy. We want something fresh and new that's aligned with who you are, what's going to bring you happiness, connection, and a beautiful sense of upliftment for the way forward. Scorpio, I'm going to leave your reading at that. If you have enjoyed this reading, please hit that like button, and I'd love to hear from you. So leave me a comment, and don't forget to subscribe. Now, always I'm open for personal readings. My details are in the description box below, so you can do that anytime if you'd like to drill down on some specifics happening in your life. And for women in midlife, if this change that you're navigating at times seems very confusing and you'd like some guidance over a period of time, ask me about my self-paced online programs. I have short ones and longer ones. This is what I do, assisting women in their midlife as a spiritual life coach. Okay, that's it from me, Scorpio. Have a fabulous month, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye now.